Okay, back at it, video two. Now, same idea, but sometimes we run into the situation where your coefficients don't match. Okay? You don't have a positive 4 and a negative 4 right away, or you don't have a positive 4 and a positive 4 right away. So um, sometimes we have to do a little mathematical manipulation to get this to work for us. So we'll need to multiply, remember, both sides. That's one of our big keys. That's why it's in bold or in caps, and that's why I'm underlining it. Okay, so we can do some forceful work on this to make things match up. Remember, you have to apply it to everything in the problem, or else you are changing the problem. So the process is the same as we just saw in the last video, except for the first step. We have to do some work first to set it up. So if we look at this first problem, 4x plus 5y equals 3 and x plus y equals 2. If I went ahead and added those together, okay, and again, this is illustration. Don't write this particular part down. Um, this is just to show you. So if I added, I get 5x plus 6y equals 5. That doesn't do me any good because nothing canceled out. So that doesn't work. If I thought, hey, maybe subtraction will work. So if I go ahead and subtract stuff, well, that gives me 3x plus 4y equals 1. Again, I have stuff that doesn't cancel out. So I'm left with two variables. That's not what I want. So we're going to have to kind of massage the problems a little bit to make it work for us. What we look at is the coefficients of the smaller variables. So I have 4x, 5y, 1x, and 1y. Now, in this particular problem, we have some options, but we can go through that and make it work for us. So we have a choice here. I can say, do I want to eliminate x or do I want to eliminate y? It does not matter which one you eliminate first as long as you're consistent. I'm going to say, let's eliminate x first. So we go through and ask the question, what do you have to multiply 1 by to get 4? Well, that's a pretty easy question. The answer there is 4. So I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 4 because I want them to match up. All right. Well, what does that leave me with? That leaves me with 4x plus 4y equals 8. Okay. And then I'm going to do, I'm going to take the problem I didn't mess with and write that below. So I have 4x plus 5y equals 3. And now as I look, 4x and 4x match. As we said in the last video, when you have coefficients that are the same, we're going to go ahead and subtract those values. So I've got them to match up now. That's what I want. That's good. That's what I want to have happen. So now I can see what cancels. Well, 4x minus 4x, say goodbye. They cancel out. Okay. Then I have 4y minus 5y. That's a negative 1y. And 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay, well, I'm not quite done yet. Divide both sides by negative 1, and we will get y equals negative 5. Great, I have part of my solution. I need the second part now. Again, this goes back to the part. Let's work smarter, not harder than we need to. Okay, if I want to find the value of x because I have y, I'm going to go use my original problem right here, this guy. X plus y equals 2 because there's less to do in the problem. X is already 1x, and it's a pretty simple problem to go. You have options. You can use any equation we have in the problem to use, but this is the simplest. So I have x plus my value of y, which was 5, will equal 2. Again, I just took this problem here, and I plugged my value of y into it. So if I keep going, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So x will be 7. So I have my ordered pair. My solution, once again, I now have an x value, which is 7, and a y value, which was negative 5. And that's my answer to that. Okay, so in that particular one, we multiplied one of our equations. Now let's look at a problem where nothing really matches up. Come over here in example 2. Again, take a second, pause the video, okay, and get this written down first before we go and start working forward. So pause a second, and then we'll go. All right. Well, Looking at my variables, I have 2x and 5x, 3y and 4y. Again, we ask ourselves the same question. Is there anything you can multiply 2 by to get 5? Well, no whole numbers I can multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. It kind of splits the difference. I don't have it there. All right. Well, 3, how about 3 going into 4? Well, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. That doesn't match up. So we're kind of stuck here. We still need to make a choice and determine which variable we want to eliminate. And again, it doesn't matter which variable eliminate, but we make a choice. I'm going to choose to eliminate the y's in this problem because they have opposite sides. So that's where we're going to start. Okay. And so what we look at 3 and 4, and I want to say, what's a number? It's kind of like finding the common denominator. If I want to find what's a common denominator for 3 and 4, it's like clearing our fractions. 12 would be my answer. So we kind of ask ourselves the question, what do you multiply 3 by to get 12? Well, that case is a 4. So multiply that and that by 4. Over here, what do you have to multiply 4 by to get 12? Well, the answer is 3. So I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by 3. And make sure you multiply both sides. All right, so that gives us 2 new equations that we have. Distribute and multiply here, I will get 8x plus 12y equals 48. Okay, there's one of our problems. The bottom will give me 15x minus 12y equals 21. So now as we look, I have coefficients that are matching, but they are opposites. And we said when you have opposite coefficients, we're going to add them together. So let's go ahead and add down here. 8x plus 15x is a 23x. Okay. 12y minus 12y is going to cancel out. Equals 48 plus 21 is 69. Okay. So I have that. Again, divide by 23. Pretty simple here. Divide by 23. Let's move this down a little bit. X equals 3, because 69 divided by 23 is 3. Well, again, I have one of my values. Let's go back and find y. Same process. I'm going to go all the way back to the top, the 2x plus 3y equals 12, and plug that in. So 2 times my x value, which is now 3, plus 3y will equal 12. Right, let's do the math. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3y equals 12. Subtract 6 from both sides. We get 3y equals 6. And finally, divide both sides by 3. Off of 3, y will be 2. I have an x value. I have a y value. I now have a solution. So my x is 3, y is 2. Done and done and done. So looking back, the process is the same. The only difference here is I have to manipulate things a little more. I have to multiply through to get things to match up is what I want. In the previous video, if we look back on that slide really quick, things were already matching up. The 2's and the 4's were already there. So I just had to add or subtract, and we were taken care of. So that's solved by elimination. You have time to work now. Take advantage of your time. Refer back to your notes. Refer back to these. Shoot me an email if you have any questions. I'll try to answer it when I can. So hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy your time. Be great. And I'll see you guys on Monday.